Welcome back to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham right here on Talk TV. We've got Sir Keir Starmer's 5 missions. We'll tell you what those are in a moment. But how about this from Sarah in West Sussex? Hi, Mike. In contrast to Sunak's speech, when he set out his 5 pledges, the speech included how these would be achieved. Starmer's 5 missions, rolls eyes, include nothing about how these would be achieved. These missions are platitudes. Growth is what's needed, not a bigger state. Cooper's policy set out recently effectively added more bottoms on seats, veritable clipboard warriors. Let's never forget, there is no money. Good luck. Well, basically the 5 missions are to secure growth in the G7 to make it the highest in that particular area, make Britain a clean energy superpower, build an NHS fit for the future, make Britain's streets safe, break down the barriers to opportunity at every stage. Rapturous applause up there in Manchester where Sir Keir was speaking. But let's talk now to John McTiernan, former advisor to Tony Blair. Tony Blair was back in the news only yesterday, punting this idea of digital ID cards with William Hague. John, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us. I mean, it's all quite nice. Some people expressing surprise that there was no mention of immigration in the 5 missions, particularly since today is a day when we've seen new policy coming from the government on fast-tracking asylum-seeking applications, but also new immigration statistics showing a larger number of people coming last year than the year before by a number of something like 60,000. So what did you make of it? Was it a bit vague for you?
No, I think it's a really good programme. It's a really good, as he says, Keir Starmer says, it's a vision, it's a mission. It's what a Labour government would be driven by to achieve. And I think if we achieve those 5 things, this would be a much, much better country. And he's absolutely right that we can't have a government who are not focused on big strategy. They're just focused on small things that are going to happen anyway, like halving inflation, that's happening, or trying to claim that they can control things they can't control, like stopping the boats, which don't have the competence to stop the boats. So yeah, look, I think this is...
Yeah, but I think if there's going to be any conversation around an election, Starmer's going to have some policy about stopping the boats because people want the boats stopped.
Yeah, but Labour's got a plan for stopping the boats. Which is if you actually allow legal routes to come to Britain, then you will stop people getting into boats and risking their lives.
I don't think that will work, though.
Yeah, the fact is that the government have prevented people who have a connection to this country coming to this country by denying them any legal route of getting here, leaving the disgrace where Afghan people who worked with our troops, worked with our government in Afghanistan are not safe there and have no route to come to the UK, being betrayed.
Yeah, but that's a very, very small number, John, as you know. That's a tiny number of people who are coming, and not everybody who's coming on the small boats is coming because they've got family members here. It's a business, right? There's an awful lot of people making an awful lot of money, both on the French side and on the British side. So there's whenever there's a lot of money to be made, that's going to continue.
We stop in a heartbeat if we had legal routes to come to the UK.
I don't think you would.
If we had processing of applications in France, but the Keir speech was excellent, and it shows you he and his team are ready for government, and the current.
Well, you say it's excellent, but you would say that, John, wouldn't you? But I mean, you've been a recent convert to Keir Starmer. The problem he's got, he was questioned this morning on another radio station. He couldn't answer the question that was put to him. Why were you such an enthusiastic supporter of Jeremy Corbyn when he wanted to be Prime Minister, and now you've basically thrown him under a bus? What's changed? Because he knew all the things he knew about Jeremy Corbyn when he was in his cabinet.
Jeremy Corbyn refused to accept the judgment of the EHRC on the Labour Party, and for that he was chucked out of the Parliamentary Labour Party, and because of that he's not going to be able to stand to be an MP.
Yes, we know all that. We know all that, but that was put to but hang on, but that was put to Keir Starmer.
We can just hear by his actions. He's actually making sure that man cannot stand as a Labour MP.
Yes, I understand that, John. But the question that he was asked that he did not answer, which he cannot answer, is why was he such an enthusiastic supporter of a man who he now says was anti-Semitic, effectively?
He's saying the man failed in the duty as leader of the Labour Party. The public made their judgment on Corbyn's Labour Party in 2019 when we got thrashed. Keir made his judgment on Jeremy Corbyn when he prevented him from being a member of the Parliament.
Right.
now preventing him
All
from
right,
being
let me put it to you another way.
And the public are making a clear judgment.
Let me put it to you another way, John.
Let me giving us a 25-point lead.
Let me give you another opportunity to answer the question which you're also not answering. Should he not have been more, shall we say, hard line then with Jeremy Corbyn rather than supporting him for being the next Prime Minister, which is what he did. You know, he didn't question Jeremy Corbyn when he was underneath him. He only threw him under a bus when he was leader.
When you're the leader of the Labour Party, you can deal with MPs, and he did. He dealt with them really.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when he was in Jeremy Corbyn's team.
Everybody knows that Keir Starmer is stopping Jeremy Corbyn being a member.
You're not answering the question, are you? You just don't want to answer it. It's fine. If you don't want to answer it, just tell me.
I don't mind that the public understand that Keir Starmer has chucked Jeremy Corbyn out of the Parliamentary Party and is stopping any opportunity from being a member of Parliament.
All right, let me ask you a direct question, and I'll give you one more chance, John. Do you personally think that Keir Starmer was wrong to support Jeremy Corbyn as much as he did when he was running to be Prime Minister?
I think Keir Starmer was right to want a Labour government to replace the Tory government in the 2019 general election. I think the record of Boris Johnson has proved that even the Tory party didn't want Boris Johnson as Prime Minister. So we were right to not want this disastrous Tory government who are just wrecking the country. And Keir is right to chuck out Jeremy Corbyn.
And you know Keir quite well. Does he regret his friendship with Jeremy Corbyn?
Keir's a politician. He's the leader of the party.
So he doesn't. So he'll just basically be friends with anyone if it gets him into power. Is that what you're saying?
Keir will do what the British people want to make this great country a great country again. That's what drives him as a politician. That's why he's got missions to transform the country. That's why he ran for leadership, and that's why he's going to make a great Prime Minister.
You're saying he wants to make Britain great again?
He wants to make Britain greater than it has ever been.
Sounds a bit Trumpian, that.
There's nothing wrong with being great.
Yeah, Great Britain is always great, though. It's not great.
Look, this great country of ours is being held back by the current government. The disaster in the National Health Service, that is the consequence of this government. Nobody can be proud of our NHS and the state it is at the moment. That is the consequence of this government. You know, the government have got to take responsibility for their 12 years of underfunding, the cuts to the police. You know, the things that Keir is talking about that have to be transformed. They've got to be transformed because our country is in a terrible, terrible state at the moment.
Yes, I agree with you, and I think most people agree with you, but the problem is that we're not seeing any answers from Keir Starmer. We're just hearing platitudes. I've got this from Charlotte. Starmer is talking like a 1980s beauty queen. I will spend my time solving world hunger and creating global peace. Not remotely achievable, just word salad. Where are the how and when details? Where are the policies? And I think that's a fair question, isn't it?
There's a detailed document being issued this morning. People can read that on the Labour Party website, and there is going to be a year and a half, 18 months to 2 years until the next general election. And over that period, you're going to get more details from Keir about how we are going to deliver what we're going to deliver. And every promise is going to be thought through and costed. And that's the right thing to do. But we are sadly at least 18 months and probably 2 years from the next general election.
Well, Lisa and Andy seem to think it might be next May.
Look, let's hope. I think we have to hope it's next May. But it'd be ideal if it was actually this June, to be honest. The sooner we're shot of this mob, the better.
Well, we shall see. Then we can have a real go at you. That'll be really, that'll be great fun. We'll see you soon. John, thank you very much indeed. John McTiernan, former advisor to Tony Blair. He thinks there should be an election now. I mean, listen, I said there should have been an election back end of the summer. That's when I wanted it. I'd love to see Keir Starmer trying to fix the problems of this country because I don't think he could. I don't think he could fix his own shoe.